Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about food labelling. Food labelling is a really important part of helping us decide what foods and drinks are part of a healthy, balanced diet. Up here we've got an example of some of the labelling which you might see on a food package. So today I'm going to tell you a little more about the sort of information that you might find useful on food packaging. There's often a lot of different things written on packaging for foods. Food companies are required to put a lot of information on their packaging to tell us about the product. The information could be what the product is called, the address of the manufacturer, a description of the product as well. It must have its ingredients on there. Also, it may require information about how to cook and prepare the product or how to store it, as well as the weight of the product that we're receiving. So there's a lot of that is required by law, but for our purposes today, I'd like to look at the information that's on a food label that will help us to make a healthier choice. The first thing to look out for is the list of ingredients, and that is required by law, so that will be on your food package. So for example, in this butter, the ingredients are cream and salt. They're the two main ingredients. So it's worthwhile at home, get out some food packages. Maybe you could play a game with your other family members to guess what ingredients and what foods match up together. So that's the first one. The ingredients will be listed in order of the biggest first. So the first thing you see on the list will be the amount of that item will be the highest within that food. So for example, within these 10 tomatoes, for example, they say that it's 60% tomatoes in those. Then there's tomato juice and citric acid. So that will help to tell you how much of a particular item is within a food that's manufactured. Another thing which can be really helpful, which is required on food packages, is the nutrition panel. It's often in the back of a package, and here we can see it on this ready meal. So this gives us a really handy way of deciding if this meal is healthy or if another alternative might be a bit better for us. So the nutrition panel will give us information about the number of calories within that product, usually per 100 grams, but also it may give it per portion. It will also tell us the amount of sugar, the amount of fat and saturated fat and salt. So those things, 4 things are required by law. So how do we know if this nutrition panel, if the food is good for us or healthy or not? One way that food manufacturers can help us is by showing it on the front of a package as a traffic light label. So you'll know from ordinary traffic lights that green means go, so that means it's low in a certain nutrient. We know that orange means be careful, so that means that it's medium in a certain nutrient like fat. Or it might be labelled as red, which means stop or be very careful. Basically, eat it in smaller amounts. So the more greens we have, the better. So if a lot of the food that you eat has got a lot of reds on the food labelling, then it's worthwhile thinking about choosing a better alternative to that.